Welcome to Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood. Now, the land isn't officially open yet, but on Thursday, January 12th, they started doing technical rehearsals. I was able to make it on Friday the 13th, the following day, and they were still doing technical rehearsals. I got to rope drop around 9:40, and we got down to this little area just before 10 o'clock, and around 10:05, they started letting us in. As you can see, they have all the queues and lines set up kind of in front of and next to Transformers. So for those of you who have reservations or afterwards when you get into the virtual queue, this will be the area you line up for your time slots or whatever it may be. And they kept telling us, it might be a 5-minute wait, it might be a 5-hour wait. I really doubted it was going to be a 5-hour wait, but if it did take longer than half an hour, I wasn't going to wait. And here we are being let in, so that was really great. It really didn't take that long. As far as I can tell, everything in the land itself was working fine. Everything was running smoothly. I'll get to the actual ride, the Mario Kart Challenge, in a little bit, but we did have to wait quite a while for that. And let me tell you, the moment you go through that tunnel, you are in Nintendo. You are in a Super Mario Brothers game. This was absolutely phenomenal. I have to say the immersive experience is that similar to Galaxy's Edge. For the most part, I have a little quarrel with that as well, I'll get to later. But from this level, looking around, looking up, you would not think, hear, or see that you are in Universal Studios anymore. They did a great job. Everything looks so wonderful, so beautiful, just like the game. There are so many moving parts, from the Goombas, the piranha plants, I'm forgetting their name, the mushrooms, the power-up blocks, everything. Everything looks great. Plenty of seating. Those little mushroom toppers are seating areas. They have some concrete bench areas as well. Everywhere you look, there's something moving, something going on. There's Yoshi, there's the big stone dude, all the toads or the Goombas stacked up. So yeah, there's always something moving around and happening. So finally, we did get into the queue. Now, they let us in. Again, they were telling us 5 minutes to 5 hours. You just never know. And I waited maybe about an hour, so, or well, more like 45 minutes, around 11 o'clock, after numerous announcements of, we're getting delayed, we have delays, we don't know when we're going to open. I left, I went over to the restaurant and filmed there a little bit, and as soon as I walked out, they started letting people back into the ride, so this footage is kind of a mix between my first time in the queue and the second time in the queue. But eventually, when we did get in, it was maybe a 20-minute wait to get to the actual cars and get in the ride. And as you'll see, it does take quite a while because the introduction to the ride is pretty long. They have a lot of information that they are going to give you about putting on the visor and then the VR goggles or glasses that are part of it. But yeah, I'll just let you watch this and you can skip ahead to when we get to the ride, and I'll talk a little bit more about it then. This is about the part where I mentioned earlier about losing that immersive quality. You can see in the distance here, there is the escalator, there's Transformers, there's Jurassic World. You'll see like the Minion up on the building. And I mean, I guess it wouldn't make sense for them to make these walls so high or unreasonably high, but I'm sure there's something they could have done so that we wouldn't be seeing all those. And it's also kind of awkward where you don't see any of that from the lower level, and then once you're in the queue in this specific balcony area, you do see everything. I know it's nitpicking. I know it's something that not everyone, probably 99% of people, won't care about, but coming from Galaxy's Edge and then feeling that immersiveness as soon as you walk in, only to suddenly lose it, that's just something I couldn't help but notice and wanted to point out. Take it how you will. That's just my opinion on it. As you just saw, the queue kind of ends here in like an instructional area right before boarding and getting your goggles and visor. Well, actually the goggles are part of the actual car, so you can't really detach them, but it does take quite a while, and everything is kind of that Japanese anime Mario style, which is really cool. This part does take a while too because everyone has to grab their visor. Luckily, it's easily adjustable. There's a little knob you twist to expand it or tighten it. And even me, I was wearing a hat. I just had to put it on backwards, but it does fit on your head. And then the visor is magnetic. Once you get to the carts, they do look like Mario Karts, which is a cool thing. I will say, I don't get sick on most rides. I get motion sickness on the Forbidden Journey ride at Universal and Star Tours at Disney, which that is pretty common. This ride got me motion sick, or I guess sick from the motion towards the end when the cart started to twist and turn a lot more. And there is a lot going on. It is sensory overload. You have the fascia and the actual build of the ride. You have screens part of the ride. And then you have your virtual reality glasses that have motion and interaction and characters coming across it as well. I didn't film the whole ride because you really do need to focus on it. Or I probably would have gotten sick even sooner, but by the end of the ride, I was definitely feeling nauseous and not too bad, but I knew I just had to get off and I couldn't sit there any longer. So yeah, fair warning that there's just so much going on that it's not an easy ride or something like, let's say, Secret Life of Pets, but it is definitely between Transformers and Forbidden Journey. Hello. Yeah, I'm just actually looking around. I'm about to eat now. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if the Toadstool Cafe is going to have more menu items. I could have sworn there was like a short rib item I saw somewhere, but I wasn't quite interested in eating anything. I will definitely try out a couple of the foods later on probably my reservation day. But the interior doesn't quite have windows. Well, it has these virtual windows where you'll see a lot of interactivity going on, different characters, and it changes from night and day. And yeah, it's pretty simple, straightforward, and they do have a good amount of wait staff to help you out as well. So for the rest of the video, I'm just kind of walking around showing the different areas you can have fun with, interact with, play your games with. I will say, if you don't get the Power Band or the Mario Band, whatever they call it, I think it's about $40. You really don't have much to do in this land. It's not like Galaxy's Edge where there's a ton of characters and shows, and there's the food court or the outdoor market, the different restaurants, so many places to just sit and take in the sights and people watch. Here, it's a really, I wouldn't say a really cramped area, but it's pretty small where you can just walk around the whole thing in maybe 2 minutes. And again, if you don't have those power bands, you can't do anything. None of the blocks or the games interact with you, and there's not much for you to do. If you're a kid or if you're a parent and you buy a band for your kid, they're gonna have the time of their lives. If you're an adult and you have played or still play Nintendo and Mario related games, yeah, it's definitely worth it. But me, I grew up playing Mario and Nintendo. I had the Game Boy, Nintendo 64, GameCube, all of that, and I was really excited. I'm still super excited for this land, but there just really isn't much going on. And in the moment, you'll see a few, again, nitpicking issues that I happen to notice when you look at Goomba and some of the seams on like the tubes and different parts of the infrastructure. It's not very clean, and I think they could have done a better job. And again, I hate to compare, and I'm sorry to compare, but there's some things Disney does better, some things Universal does better. Disney wouldn't make it that obvious that it's a panel or it's pieced together. They would do anything to kind of make it flush and avoid any seam lines or creases or anything like that, or expose screws and parts. So I'm a little, I saw that, and again, to me, it just takes away from that immersive feeling. Other than that, didn't really have any complaints. Mario and Luigi were out today when I was around. They are both awesome and a little bit creepy because the way the mouth and the eyes move is super cool. It's not quite something we've seen before, especially for these animated characters, but it's also a little weird when you see it. And the music is so loud in the entire area that it's actually kind of hard to hear them unless you're face to face. In the videos that you'll see in a moment, I was maybe 10 to 12 feet from them and I can barely make out what they were saying. So just some perspective and viewpoints and my opinion on different things here and there for you to take in, but don't let that discourage you from visiting. Don't let it turn you away or dissuade you from going, and I hope you all enjoy it. And as we come up to the end right here, you'll see the exit. It does bring you around between the Jurassic Cafe and those bathrooms. So thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below or reach out to me on Instagram or TikTok. I'll do my best to answer anything. I experienced pretty much everything the park or the land has to offer, except of course the food and not being able to play any of the games. Other than that, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.